Hi everyone, welcome you all. So previously we have learned what is if statement and what is if else statement. Let us describe these things in more detail. And here you can see a diagram. In this diagram you can see I have a if statement only. So this is called one way if. Okay, so this is a decision box, and here we have a condition. For example, a modulus 2 equals to 0. Assume a is entered by user and is a valid integer. Then we can say if it is a if this condition is true, then we can say the number is even. Otherwise, nothing is done and simply program is stopped, or the next statement after the if are executed. Okay, so let us switch to my IDE and check this statement. Okay, so I have already written a code. We have a variable a is equals to input int internal number, and this is going to retrieve a number from the user, and then we are going to check whether this number is even or odd. So if we divide or calculate modulus, it will generate a 1 or 0, and if the value is 0, then we are saying print even. And let's have one more statement, and let's say end. Okay, and I'm going to put a mark here so that I can debug it. Let's try to debug this program, and here is my file if else. Okay, now you can check out my first line is highlighted with blue. That means I am in this current situation, and then I have to press F8 to move to my next statement, or this will simply execute it. Okay, I have to write this input here, and let's just try to execute this piece of a code or debug this one right now. Let's click on debug button, and then this will execute it. It will ask a number. Let's enter some value. Let us enter a even number only this time. When I press enter, it says a is equals to 10 in my variable section, and if I press F8, it will move inside, and if I still press F8, it will reflect in my console that it is a even number, and then straight away it will say end. Okay, now let us execute this one more time, and this time I'm going to enter odd value, and let's say 11 is my input. When I click on it, it will move to my debug point, as you can see here, and then F8 this time it will simply execute end. Okay, so this is executed only when the condition is true, and if the condition is false, your program do not do anything. It simply jumps this statement and execute the next statement which is outside the if. Okay, so that's why it is called a one way if. Then we have another if statement that is called a two-way if, or if else. That also we have learned. Here you can see we have a condition, and we have both true and else part. And true, if the condition is true, then you have to or your program execute certain steps or certain instructions. And here also we have a instruction set when when condition is false. Now let's go ahead and see this. So here in this example we have two inputs, first and second. If the first is greater than second, then maximum is equals to first and minimum is equals to second, and else maximum is equals to second and minimum is equals to first. Okay, so in both the situation, whether or not the condition is true or false, you will be getting maximum value in maximum variable and minimum value in minimum variable. Okay, and notice we have another structure called else. So if the condition is true, your statements will be executed, these statement will be executed, and if the condition is false, then else part of your if is executed. Notice here is indent. Do not forget to use indentation, right? It is very necessary. And after the end of this else statement, we have to unindent on the all the other statements which we do not want to be inside else. Okay, so here these two statements are out of if and these two statements are out of if. Okay, so only these are inside if and else. So this is your if part, or these statements comes here and these two statements comes here and this condition comes at this place. Okay, so let us test this in my PyCharm. Okay, so here I have else, and in the else part I can say print odd value. Okay, now let's try to debug this program. So here is my console. It is taking a little bit time, but no problem. This time we have 12. Let's enter it and see my debug point is highlighted. Now let us hit F8 key. Now you can see the condition is true. We move inside, so you can see my print even is highlighted. When I click on it, it will execute it, and you notice this all these two statements are jumped and we are at the end. And if you check console, we have even printed on my screen. Okay, now if I hit F8 once again, I will get an end, right? So this part of your program is completely ignored by Python. Okay, and these two statements are executed. Now let us execute it once more, and this time I'm going to enter a odd value, and here is my odd value, that is 13. Just hit enter and press F8 key. This time notice we are at the print odd statement, or you can see these, yeah, this statement is ignored and we are executing this statement, and just click on it, and here is my output odd end, right? So this is called two-way situation, where one of the part of your program is executed while other is ignored, right? Python do not offer these two structure for selection statements. Actually we have another statement that is called multi-way if statement. Here we can use if and elif. Let's move to my PDF and see how it can be done. You can check out this diagram. Here we have a test condition. If the condition is true, certain statements will be executed. And if the condition is false, then in the another statement we are going to execute a statement. Okay, and condition. And if the condition is true, certain statement will be executed, and if the condition is false, then another set of statements can be executed, and this ladder can be infinitely long. Okay, so now let us have a condition and then we can implement it. Okay, so now here is my condition. Now if the values or numbers are more than 89, we get a grade A, and if we have numbers between these two values, we get a grade B. And similarly for C, we have to achieve or score between these 69 and 80, and then finally all grades below 70 is called as F. We are going to make this program, so you can easily guess it is really very difficult to make it with the help of if and else. We can make it, but it will be more, you can say, resource hungry program. Let's do it. Okay, so one way of doing it is we are going to enter a marks. Okay, we call it M, and here I'm going to have M, and if the value of this M is more than 89, okay, so if this is the condition and this is true, then we can say you got A grade. Let's simply print A, and if M is greater than 79 and M is less than, how much it should be, 90, M is less than 90, then let's print B here, and if M is greater than 69 and is less than 80, then we can say it is grade C. And finally, if m is you can say less than 70, and then we can say print f. Okay, so this is one of the way we can do it. Let's debug this program so that we can understand how it is working. Okay, now we are going to enter, let's say I'm going to enter less than the value 55. Okay, just click on it and you can see my debugging point. Now F8, see my condition is tested and I moved to the next statement, next, and next. So you can check out all these statements are executed, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and this was the fifth statement. Okay, and here I find a match and my f is printed and finally end. Right, no matter what value I specify, this way my program is going to check all these statements or execute all these conditions. Right, let's debug one more time, and this time I'm going to enter straight away 100 so that it falls to my first statement. Okay, so I'm going to enter, let's say 100 and enter. Still I'm in my condition. Let us hit F8. Now I know that this statement is executed and it has already printed A, and I know that these statements are not going to be executed since I have used a condition which is less than 90. All the values, these condition must be true if and only if m is 19. But still you can check out my debug point is stopping at every place in statement 4, in statement 6 and in 8 also. So this is obviously executing 3 extra statement which is really not required. Okay, so now I'm going to use a structure which is called LF. Okay, so LF, instead of complete if, I'm going to use LF, and here I simply used else. Okay, I do not need to specify any statement. Right, let's save it and execute this one more time, and here also I'm going to specify value which is greater than 88, or you can say 100. Now if I try to press F8, straight away A is printed and I am straight away moved to end. So all these statements are just ignored. Right, and I am getting A here. If I press F8, you can see my all these statements are not executed. So this is more efficient in terms of time taken by the program. Okay, now let us execute one more time, and this time I'm going to hit enter a value which is less than the you can say the match, and it should fall to else, and see how it executes my code. Okay, see my condition is tested. I move to elif and then LF and then finally else printed, and so it is more faster than the previous version of my program. So this is also can be done and it is more efficient. You should be using whenever you have multiple ways in your program. Okay, so we are going to conclude this if and elif statement, and this is the time to give you question, and the question is you have to enter a number or weekday, just like this, enter a weekday in number and print the day in words. Okay, for example 1, it means your program should enter or print Monday, right? And similarly if it user enters 6 or 7, in 7 we have to use Sunday. Okay, right, this is really very simple program and you can do it using if and if structure only and if elif also. Okay, so but my suggestion is to do it with the help of elif. Okay, I hope you can do it. And the next program is mm, you have to enter or ask user to enter a character and tell whether it is vowel or not, right? So these two programs you have to do. And remember, if I'm teaching you elif, that doesn't mean you have to make all the program with the help of elif, right? Do send your feedback to my WhatsApp, right, so that I can make a record. I'm maintaining your record and it will be really um, helpful in getting your scores, right? Bye. This is all what I have.